Okay, students. Today I am going to discuss one of the important aspects of the quantum mechanics, that is time independent Schrodinger wave equation. It's very much important derivation in quantum mechanics because using this equation we can find out the particle properties like position, momentum, and energy. So actually Schrodinger derived this equation using de Broglie concept of wave nature. So we know, according to de Broglie, all moving particles are associated with a group of waves, and the wavelength of the matter wave is given by this lambda is equal to h divided by p, where h is the Planck's constant and p is the momentum, mass into velocity of the particle. So momentum is given by p is equal to h by lambda. So this is the wavelength of the matter wave associated with the moving particle. Now, so we can write the equation of this matter wave, which is moving in a positive x direction but in complex notations. So it can be written as psi is equal to a into e to the power I kx minus omega t. So where this psi is nothing but is a total wave function. It's a Greek letter and it is pronounced as psi, psi. Psi means it's a wave function. Later we will understand what is this wave function. So this wave function is same as that of y in progressive wave. In progressive wave, that y indicates the displacement of the wave. So it is similar to that displacement, but not exactly the displacement here. Similar to y. Okay. And the other letters are having a usual meaning. A is in this equation, it is amplitude. So k is the propagation constant or a wave number. You can say it as a wave number or propagation constant, and omega is the angular frequency. Okay. So this is the equation of matter wave, which is moving in a positive x direction. Okay. But written in a complex notations. It is written in complex notation. It is a complex function because it is having I. Okay, that I indicates the complex number. Complex number. So now what we have to do is, okay. So actually this capital psi we have used here. That capital psi indicates the total wave function. Okay, so it's a total wave function, means there are two wave functions. Okay, so one indicates the space dependent and another one is the time dependent. So the space dependent is denoted by small psi, okay, which is equal to a into e to the power I kx, where k indicates the position, means that space, and as this psi is the space dependent. So the another part of this one, this equation 2, is that expression with the t, that is the time dependent wave function. Psi is equal to, this is also here I have taken a small psi, small letter for the psi, a into e to the power minus I omega t. So the term which contains x indicates the space dependent function, and the function which is having the t, okay, indicates the time dependent. So we have two wave functions here. Okay, one is space dependent and the other one is the time dependent wave function. So that total function, okay, now we can write it as like this. Okay, the same thing I have split it into two parts, capital psi with the space dependent as well as the time dependent part. So this is the space dependent one. Okay, we have denoted with this with a small psi. So I have taken small psi here. Okay, total wave function is equal to this is the first one, small psi indicates the space dependent and this is the time dependent. Now what to do is, here we have to differentiate this equation with respect to x as well as with respect to t. Twice, two times we have to differentiate it. First let us differentiate with respect to x here. Okay, d psi by dx is equal to, okay, since this first psi, small psi, is the space dependent x, so dx by d psi by dx. Okay, so this term is independent of x position here, and we can keep it as it is because it becomes a constant term here. Okay, we'll keep it as it is. Next we have to take the double differentiation of this with respect to x. So the second differentiation, second derivative with respect to x is d2 psi by dx is equal to, so d2 psi by dx, the small letter, and we will keep the second term as it is. Now we have to take the same equation, equation 3, we have to differentiate with respect to t now. So here if you take the differentiation of that equation, okay, so here equation 3 we have to differentiate with respect to t here. This psi, small psi, is independent on t here, and hence we'll keep it as it is. Okay, for the second term it is a into e to the power I omega t, which is dependent on t here. We can differentiate it. So here it is in the form of e raised to ax, differentiation of e raised to ax. Differentiation of e raised to ax with respect to x is a into e raised to ax. So minus I omega, okay, comes here. Okay, minus I omega comes here, the same term as it is, a into e to the power omega t as it is with the psi. Minus I omega comes here, a, it is treated as a, minus I omega is treated as a, so a into e raised to x. Okay, I hope you are understood. It's clear, I hope. Okay, I have written here. So take the double differentiation. So again, once again, minus I omega comes here, so minus minus plus I square omega square. So as it is. So I square means I is root minus 1 and as I square is minus here, so it becomes minus omega square a into e to the power I omega t into psi. Now what to do? Okay, so this is the important step in this derivation. Okay, so we have now d2 psi by dx square as well as d2 psi by dt square. Two terms we have got. Okay, equation 4 and 6 from equation 3 just by differentiating this equation with respect to x as well as with respect to t twice. So we have got these two terms, equation 5 as well as equation number 6 we have got. So this is the main step in this derivation. Next what we have to do is we have to consider the equation of progressive wave which is traveling in a positive x direction with velocity v and displacement y, that is given by d2y by dx square, which is equal to 1 upon v square into d2y by dt square. So as I already told, so this y is same as that of psi in complex notation. So to write this equation in a complex notation, just replace y by psi. Okay. So if you replace it by y by psi, then it becomes a complex function. Okay. Now we have got equation 8 here. Already we have got the expression for this d2 psi by dx square and d2 psi by dt square. So from equation 5 and 6, just put those two values here. Okay. Substitute the values. So what is this d2 psi by dx square? d2 psi by dx square is this much. Okay, small d2 psi by dx square a into e to the power I minus omega t. So I have written the same thing here. This one I have written here. So which is equal to minus omega square. Here v square is as it is. I have taken v square as it is. So d2 psi by dt square is here in equation 6, that is minus omega square a into e to the power I minus I omega t into psi. Okay, the same term I have written here. So these two terms get cancelled here. Okay. Now we left with in left hand side at d2 psi by dx square. Okay, and here we left with minus omega and v square, and psi is there. Okay, so the next step is we have to put the values of omega and v. As I already told, omega is the angular frequency, so its value is 2 pi f. Omega is 2 pi f, that is I have taken as nu here. Nu is also a frequency, and v is the velocity of that progressive wave. Velocity is given by f into lambda, nu into lambda. Simply put these two values here. So let us see what happens if you put the values. Omega is 2 pi nu, becomes 4 pi square nu square, 4 pi square nu square with a negative sign. V is nu square into lambda square in the denominator and along with the psi. Okay, so this nu square from the denominator and numerator. Okay, so you can cancel it out. So what is left? So in left hand side we have d2 psi by dx square, small letter. Okay, minus is equal to minus 4 pi square psi, and lambda square is there. I have written it is separately, 1 upon lambda square. Next step, I have simplified this equation for the 1 upon lambda square. So this comes to the left hand side, minus 4 pi square psi comes to the left hand side here. Okay, so minus 1 upon 4 pi square psi into d2 psi by dx square. Okay, so this is the second important step in this derivation. Okay, so what we did here till is we have considered the de Broglie equation, then we have written the equation of a de Broglie wave in complex notation. So we have separated it to two parts. We have split it into two parts, space dependent and time dependent. Space dependent, time dependent. Then we have differentiated this equation. Okay, double differentiation of this d2 psi by dx square, d2 psi by dt square. We have put the equation in progressive wave here. and we have put the values of omega and v here, and we have got this equation. We have simplified it for 1 upon lambda square. So this is the important step that we must remember. So in third and last step, what we have to do, we have to consider the total energy of the particle which is moving in uniform potential field V. So if a particle is moving in a uniform potential field, then you can write the total energy as E is equal to kinetic energy plus potential energy. Potential energy is V here, capital V. So what happens to this kinetic energy now? We know this potential energy, that is V. Now we have to calculate the kinetic energy. Okay. The kinetic energy of a moving particle with mass m and velocity v is given by half mv square, kinetic energy. So if you multiply and divide this equation with m, okay, so this becomes a new equation, that is p square by 2m, okay, m into v whole square is a p square by m, p square by 2m, kinetic energy. So now what to do? Just to put the value of p using equation 1. So where is that equation 1? Initially we have considered it. Okay, this one. De Broglie equation. P is equal to h by lambda. So that we have to put here. In this kinetic energy, we have to put the value of P as h by lambda. So h square by lambda square I have separately written because already we have got the expression for this 1 upon lambda square. So we can put the value here. So what is the value of that 1 upon lambda square? It is minus 1 upon 4 pi square psi into d2 psi by dx square. We can put this value. You can put this value here. So if you put the value of 1 upon lambda square here, okay, so what happens? Minus here it comes h square in the numerator, minus h square in the numerator. Denominator, what happens? 2 into 4, 8, pi square is there, m is there, psi is there, and then d2 psi by dx square. So this is the kinetic energy. So this is the expression for kinetic energy. We have to put it in the total energy here. So total energy is equal to kinetic energy plus potential. Potential energy we already know, that is a V. Kinetic energy, whatever the equation we have got here, so this one. So the total energy becomes like this. So just to simplify it, what to do? Next step is the simplification part. Take E minus V. V to the left hand side. Simply transfer this V to left hand side. Remaining terms as it is. Next, simplify it for d2 psi by dx square. Right hand side term d2 psi by dx square. Keep it as it is. Whatever the things are there, that you have to transfer to left hand side. Okay, d2 psi by dx square is equal to, so minus, so whatever in the denominator comes to numerator, numerator goes to denominator, 8 pi square m, okay, h square, e minus v psi. So then equate it to 0. So whatever the things are there in a right hand side, take it to the left hand and equate it to 0. So that is the last step. d2 psi by dx square plus 8 pi square m divided by square e minus v psi is equal to 0. So this is the final equation, so known as one dimensional time independent Schrodinger wave equation. So I can also write it in 3 dimensions, okay, as d2x by dx square, okay, plus d2y by dx, d2 psi by dy square plus d2 psi by dz square plus 8 pi square m divided by square e minus v psi is equal to 0. Okay, see. So this is the Schrodinger wave equation, but in a 3 dimensions. So this is very important derivation. As far as your examination is concerned, it may be asked for 7 to 10 marks. Okay, you have to practice it, and definitely you will get this question for 7 to 10 marks. So simply you remember the steps. Okay, as I have told, remember the steps. First you write the equation in a complex notations, separate it as a space dependent and a time dependent. Space dependent and time dependent. Then you put the space dependent for psi because we want time independent Schrodinger wave equation. Then differentiate it twice with respect to x and twice with respect to t. So I'll get these two equations, this one equation 5, okay, and equation 6. So then you have to consider the progressive wave. Here we have both the terms, okay, what we have derived already. Simply put those two things here and we'll get this equation. Here you put the values of omega and v, simplified for 1 upon lambda, because later we are using this 1 upon lambda square in kinetic energy of the particle. Next step, consider total energy, okay, kinetic energy plus potential energy is v already, kinetic energy we have to find out, that is the p square by 2m. Put the p value here, put the value of 1 upon lambda square, you get the kinetic energy, and then simplify the total energy. In simplification you have to follow 3 steps. First get E minus V, then get the expression for d2 psi by dx square and equate it to 0 to get the final expression. You just remember these steps, okay, you remember these 3 steps and you can easily derive the equation. Okay, thank you.